In our headlines for this evening, locally, Government of National Unity reports on first days in office, and new Prime Minister commits to prosperity for all. The details are straight ahead. Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Friday, February 20th, 2015. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. World Cancer Day is commemorated on February 4th annually and was this year observed under the theme Not Beyond Us. The Health Promotion Unit and the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Dr. Rouse Foundation Cardiac Visit, will conduct a number of activities here on Nevis in observance of World Cancer Day. One of the activities will be a Chef Academy, which will be held on Monday, February 23rd at the Charlestown Primary School.
This will target children between the ages of 9 and 12. And we're really targeting that population because we know the importance of behavior change. And in order to adopt healthy lifestyles, it's important that we start with children and not try to introduce something when someone might be in their 30s or 40s, for example, where it becomes more difficult to change behavior. So we're targeting that group in particular, and hopefully they can, not only change their behavior, but also that of their families. We're proud that it'll be led by our local chef here at the School Meals program, Mr. Michael Henville, as well as Chef Marvin Woods and celebrity chef Marvin Woods. He has worked with persons such as Michelle Obama in her school meals program in the United States, and so he'll be working with us here, and we're happy to have that.
That was Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Nicole Slack-Liburd. She also noted that the students of the Charlestown Primary School would receive a hydroponic system which would be utilized in the school meals program and would allow for healthier eating practices. Speaking about the second activity was health educator in the Health Promotion Unit, Chevany Nisbet.
The other major activity will be a cardiac health screening, which will be held on Tuesday, the 24th of February, and this will be hosted at the Cherry Gardens basketball court, where the activity will take place from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. It's free, and the general public is asked to come on out and get your free screening. And those persons who are interested, we ask that you fast for at least 6 hours before you come to get your health screening done.
The general public is asked to take advantage of the cardiac health screening, which will be held from 6 to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, February 24th at the Cherry Garden basketball court. In a report to the nation of the first days in office of the Government of National Unity, Attorney General the Honorable Vincent Byron has denied rumors that members of the public service are being victimized. Senator Byron's report was uploaded yesterday to the website of the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service.
No victimization, no victimization, no victimization was Dr. Harris's watchword. And there was absolutely no truth to the rumors that were circulated that members of the public service were being asked to leave the government headquarters on escort. They were welcomed to stay, and eventually they were allowed to enter their offices, and smooth transition would continue.
According to the report, the Prime Minister's first order of business was to meet with his government.
He met with his members of his new cabinet to be installed, cabinet-elect to be installed, the Honorable Mr. Ian Patches-Liburd, the Honorable Lindsay Fitzpatrick Grant, the Honorable Sean K. Richards, the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, and others who had run to support the Team Unity effort at his first meeting. We set about to make certain directions that were conveyed to the Chief Secretary and to the Solicitor General. These included the fact that all matters that were all actions that were being taken by the current departments would be put on hold for today as the government entered into this transition period. Later in the afternoon, Dr. Harris was joined with those members of the new National Unity Government from Nevis, the Honourable Vance Emery, the Honourable Mark Brantley, and also the Honourable Alexis Jeffers joined us in a further meeting of the grouping to move forward in the formation of a new cabinet. It has been determined that this new cabinet would be announced and there would be an installation of the full cabinet at a ceremony on Sunday. The details as to the location, the venue, and the agenda of such the installation would be made at a later time.
Prime Minister Harris has also met with dignitaries, the leaders of international agencies, heads of departments, and permanent secretaries to further add to the transition process.
He has also given instructions to his financial secretary, who joined us at meetings, that all transactions involving the Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation, the SIDF, should be halted until further notice.
The new cabinet has also been briefed by the High Command of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force on matters of security and to ensure a smooth transition to the new government. New Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honourable Dr. Timothy Harris, has described his taking up his offices at government headquarters in Bastille as a moment of celebration and humility. Prime Minister Harris describes the work plan for the new government as people-centred and says that is why the first day after having been sworn in, the members of his team went to the government headquarters to ensure that it could begin the process of transition and ensure that the people's agenda is executed. The new leader of the Federation has met with several key investors in the Twin Island state and assured them that his government is business-friendly. He says positive discussions have also been held with several prospective investors who want to ensure that the democratic fiber of the country is one that would ensure stability before they devote resources to the Federation. The new Prime Minister has further assured that his government would work with all entities, both local and regional, noting that it needs the necessary collegiality to get work done at the regional level in a cooperative manner. Prime Minister Harris took up offices at government headquarters, Church Street, Bastille, yesterday, Thursday, February 19th, having taken the oaths of office, allegiance, and secrecy on Wednesday. Prime Minister Harris pledged to work diligently for the prosperity of the country and the deepening of democracy.
Our platform for election in this country was based on two critical pillars: democracy. So much of it was under threat in our view, and we lived that experience. We know we have to redeem it. Development that is people-centered. Amidst all the rosy picture, the truth is there are too many forgotten people, too many situations unknown, unseen, unattended, where people live. And as I went through the country talking to people young and old, I knew that there had to be a better way of existence, and that the National Unity Government had a sacred obligation to take our people, 33% of them who live in life of abject poverty, to a new place, a new situation. Hence we came with the telling slogan, some may say, prosperity for all. But importantly for all the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, we commit to fairness and a fairer share for all.
Prime Minister Harris says now that the new government is in place, it intends to get on with the business of nation building. Stay with us, we'll have more local news after this break.
You are watching NTV!
Welcome back. The leaders of Guyana and St. Lucia have congratulated Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris and Team Unity on their victory at the polls. In his message, President of Guyana, Donald Ramotar, says he looks forward to strengthening relations between both countries and to collaboration at the regional, hemispheric, and international levels for the betterment of the peoples of the Caribbean community. Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Dr. Kenny Anthony, says the democratic traditions of the region were maintained in what was another peaceful transition of power, and assures the new Prime Minister of the support and cooperation of the government and people of St. Lucia. Prime Minister Anthony notes that Prime Minister Harris has had the benefit of ministerial experience and says he is positive this will serve him in good stead as he enters this new phase of his political journey. The St. Lucia Prime Minister says while the players may be different, the task of governing continues, and he calls upon all concerned to work together so that St. Kitts and Nevis and the region can continue their strides towards the prosperity of their peoples. Prime Minister Harris's Team Unity romped home to a 7-4 victory over the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas's Labour Party in Monday's general elections. Antigua-based airline Caribbean Helicopters Limited today made its inaugural flight to Nevis. Vanessa Liburd reports from the Vance W. Emery International Airport.
Caribbean Helicopters Limited (CHL) today made their inaugural scheduled flight to Nevis via Antigua at around 2:15 p.m. at the Vance W. Emery International Airport. Captain of the first scheduled flight for Caribbean Helicopters into Nevis was Colin Moraine.
Today's flight was uneventful. Landed here at 1:15 with some very happy passengers and looking forward to serving the people of Nevis. Scheduled to Nevis would be every Friday and Sunday. Departing Antigua at 1:45 in the afternoon, and returning at 6:55.
The 6-seater aircraft flew in 4 persons, including Kyle Christian of Antigua's Observer Radio and Newspaper, Shari Dickinson of Regional Publications, and Colin James, Chief Executive Officer of the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority, accompanied by his son.
I think this is really an important implication because the flight was so easy and effortless to get over here. We were here in like 15 minutes, easy flight. Great scenery so far. We've been hosted by the Nevis Tourism Authority and they've been doing an excellent job introducing us to the tourist attractions, the site. You have a wonderful town in Charleston, well preserved, and I really want to commend the people of Nevis on what you all have done in preserving your historic town. It's really, really something that I think visitors will appreciate. But the flight gives more options for people to come to Nevis, and too often in the past we have had challenges with moving passengers from Antigua into Nevis, and so for opportunities for both of our tourism authorities to collaborate, for example, with double drop vacations. Say, for example, a guest would want to come from Canada and spend some time in Antigua and then come over to Nevis. This presents a host of opportunities that we can exploit and we can market jointly and we can work together.
James says he was pleased to be able to visit the island.
Nevis has always been a very, very beautiful and a charming place, and I'm absolutely pleased and delighted to be here again this afternoon. You have a wonderful country, and I think we have a great opportunity as Caribbean countries to work together jointly to promote tourism.
The group, which was hosted by the Nevis Tourism Authority, visited numerous historical and natural sites on Nevis, including the Bath Stream and the Hermitage Plantation Inn. Meantime, tourism stakeholders here on Nevis are speaking about the positive implications of additional airlift at the Vance W. Emery International Airport. The Nevis Island Administration on Friday, February 13th, signed an agreement to partner with Caribbean Helicopters Limited to bring airlift into and out of Nevis via the Antigua-based airline. At that ceremony, General Manager of the Nisbet Plantation Beach Club, Alistair Forrest, spoke about the impact the new airlift would have on the industry.
For us as hoteliers at Nisbet Plantation, our market is split pretty much, not quite equally, but we have a little more from the US than we do from the UK. But the start of this service really means that it allows greater opportunity for passengers to connect through Antigua, whether they're coming from the US and Canada or whether they're coming from the UK, in both directions. So it gives us so many more options rather than just using our main airport, obviously in St Kitts, and the Nevis airport from predominantly with the flights from San Juan. So we're really delighted because this opens up all kinds of new channels for us, and for going forwards, this has to be really, really positive news. So we're very, very happy. We're delighted.
Also attending the signing ceremony was Ernie France, Managing Director of the St. Kitts, Nevis Anguilla Trading and Development Company, TDC.
We are also very delighted to see the commencement of this service. I think it's a valuable addition to airlift into Nevis, and it will provide a fantastic avenue through which tourists, as Alistair mentioned, and also local persons can travel. I think the Times makes for good connections in Antigua. The flight then goes to St. Kitts and then on to Nevis, and then when it gets back to Antigua, it makes also for good connections to those flights going on to Europe and the UK, etc. I think also particularly for locals, the Times will make for good connections for persons who wish to travel to the Southern Caribbean, Barbados, Trinidad and so on, or even just to make connections with Liat for flights going to those destinations and so on. So I think it's a fantastic addition. We welcome it. I applaud the Ministry of Tourism and the Tourism Authority for being able to negotiate this arrangement with Caribbean Helicopters, and we look forward to the service. We're delighted to have it.
Caribbean Helicopters Limited operates Bell 206 series Long Ranger and Jet Ranger helicopters. The aircrafts are fitted with pop-out floats that can be deployed in seconds, providing the ability to land on water in the event of an emergency. For flights between Nevis and Antigua, the airfare including taxes and fees is $165. Reporting for the Nevis Newscast, I am Fredicia Liburd.
Thanks, Fredicia. That's it for tonight's edition of the Nevis Newscast. Thank you for viewing. Good night.